Imagine hearing about a murderer who admitted his crime. A man who never denied what he had done. A man whose case became international news. And yet, he spent most of his life as a free man. No prison sentence. No life behind bars. No dramatic escape. Just a series of legal mistakes, psychiatric rulings, and bureaucratic decisions that left people asking one chilling question. How can someone confess to such a horrific crime and still walk free? This is the disturbing true story of Issei Sagawa, a case so shocking that decades later people are still debating how justice slipped away. Before his name became infamous around the world, Issei Sagawa appeared to be an ordinary student. Born into a wealthy family in Japan, he was intelligent, educated, and academically successful. To outsiders, there was nothing that suggested he would one day become the center of one of the most controversial criminal cases in modern history. But behind the normal appearance was a troubled mind. As he grew older, he became increasingly isolated. He struggled socially and spent much of his time lost in thoughts and fantasies that would later alarm mental health experts. Eventually, his studies took him thousands of miles from home. To Paris, France. A city known for romance, culture, and opportunity. No one could have imagined that Paris would soon become the setting for a crime that would horrify the entire world. In the early 1980s, Sagawa was studying literature in Paris. He attended classes, met fellow students, and appeared to be living a normal life. Among the students he met was a young Dutch woman named Renée Hartevelt. She was intelligent, talented, and well-liked by her classmates. The two knew each other through university circles, and from the outside, nothing about their interaction seemed unusual. But beneath the surface, something far darker was unfolding. In June 1981, a terrible crime took place inside Sagawa's apartment. The details that investigators later uncovered shocked even experienced detectives. When information about the case reached the public, newspapers around the world quickly picked up the story. People were horrified. The crime was unlike anything most had ever heard before. As authorities investigated, the evidence pointed directly toward Sagawa. He was arrested by French police, and at first, it seemed obvious what would happen next. Most people expected a criminal trial followed by a lengthy prison sentence. Instead, the case took an unexpected turn. Psychiatrists were asked to evaluate Sagawa's mental condition. After conducting examinations, experts concluded that he suffered from severe psychological disorders. Their findings dramatically changed the direction of the case. Rather than moving through the traditional criminal justice process, the focus shifted toward psychiatric treatment and mental health evaluations. For many observers, this seemed like a temporary step before a final legal resolution. But what happened next would create one of the most controversial legal outcomes in true crime history. French authorities eventually approved Sagawa's transfer back to Japan. At first, that decision appeared reasonable. Many assumed Japanese authorities would continue the legal process and ensure justice was carried out. However, things did not go according to plan. When Sagawa arrived in Japan, legal complications began to emerge. Questions about jurisdiction. Questions about evidence. Questions about previous court decisions. Questions about psychiatric findings. The situation became increasingly complicated. As lawyers and officials reviewed the case, it started to unravel. What should have been a straightforward prosecution became tangled in a web of international legal procedures. Eventually, prosecutors faced obstacles that proved difficult to overcome. Then came the moment that stunned people across the world. Sagawa was released. No prison sentence. No life behind bars. Free. The reaction was immediate. Many people could not believe what they were hearing. News organizations covered the story extensively. Legal experts debated how such an outcome was possible. Victims' rights advocates criticized the system. And ordinary people were left asking the same question. How could someone connected to such a horrific crime simply walk free? But perhaps the most controversial part of the story was still ahead. Most individuals involved in notorious criminal cases disappear from public view after the headlines fade. That didn't happen here. Over time, Sagawa became a public figure. He gave interviews, appeared in television programs, participated in documentaries, published writings. His willingness to speak publicly about the case attracted enormous attention. For many people, this was deeply disturbing. Critics argued that the media had transformed a horrific crime into a spectacle. Others believe that understanding his psychology could help society better understand extreme criminal behavior. Regardless of opinion, one thing was clear. The fascination surrounding the case never truly disappeared. Years turned into decades. Yet the story continued to appear in books, documentaries, and discussions about criminal justice. Lost in all of the headlines was the person whose life had been taken. Renée Hardevelt. A young woman with dreams, goals, friendships, and a future. True crime stories often focus heavily on offenders. But behind every major case is a victim whose story deserves to be remembered. A family forever changed. A future that never arrived. And a life that can never be replaced. That reality is what makes this case so tragic. Even today, more than 40 years later, the Issei Sagawa case continues to raise difficult questions. Questions about mental health. Questions about international law. Questions about how justice systems handle extraordinary situations. And perhaps most importantly, questions about accountability. What happens when legal systems collide? What happens when psychiatric evaluations intersect with criminal responsibility? And what happens when a case falls into the gaps between countries, courts, and governments? The story of Issei Sagawa is not remembered simply because of the crime itself. It is remembered because of what happened afterward. Because for many people, the most shocking part of the story wasn't the arrest. It wasn't the investigation. It wasn't even the courtroom proceedings. It was the fact that a case that seemed destined to end with a lifetime behind bars somehow resulted in freedom. A freedom that many believe should never have happened. And that is why, decades later, the case remains one of the most controversial and disturbing true crime stories ever recorded. A story that continues to leave people asking the same haunting question. Did justice fail? Or was this simply a case that exposed weaknesses hidden deep inside the legal system itself? Whatever your answer may be, one fact remains undeniable. A young woman lost her life. A crime shocked the world. And somehow, the man at the center of it spent most of his life outside prison walls. A reality that still chills people to this day.